What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing today? Welcome to another episode of I.O.W. Sports. It's episode 284.
284.
Yes, sir. Of course, we're going to do some NFL recap of week 6. Get you ready for Monday Night Football. Cowboys, Chargers. Talk a little college football. Some blown leads. Some people that need to check themselves in the college world. But y'all know what it is, man. Tap in with us.
We call that the Nick was right again segment.
The Nick was right again?
Oh, here we go. This motherfucker can't get through the dialogue.
I know. Without even like
Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me guess. Now, next after that, you're going to talk about the Jets.
We'll save that for like the last 30 seconds purposely. It'll make me stay the whole show and just say at the end, like, oh, before we go, the Jets won. Have a good day, everybody.
And that'd probably be the best time to bring that up. As we leave. That works for me. I mean, last 30 seconds, that was fine. I think that's a good show ending. Yeah. Anyway. Y'all know what it is, man. Please tap in with it. I know, right? Yeah, because we don't want to kill the show. I mean, you're gonna do that enough over there, Detroit, man, and all your exploits that you do. That continues to kill the women rating.
Hey man, look, man. I'm in a drought now because my pill supplier, you know what I'm saying, got COVID.
Sir. I mean, I don't know the demographics of our women followers, but I'm pretty sure you kill it just about every week. But
hey man, please I'm consistent.
What's up, Bobby G? Shout out, Bobby G.
Bobby G.
But no, man, our network, Facebook, Instagram, of course, right here on the YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe.
All right.
But Twitch followers, man, we're getting some people on.
I know,
Twitch, man. What is? But y'all know what it is, man. I.O.W. Sports One as well on the YouTube, and you can follow us all individually on Twitter. I think that's what are they still calling this shit? Twitter,
X, Twitter, whatever.
X, Twix, Twitter, X. I don't know. Either way, proud New York Jets fan. No Name Podcast, Wildcard Chief. All three separate podcasts for three separate teams, obviously. So make sure you tap in on all of our content and hey man, let's get down in the business.
Man, hold on, man. I got a new t-shirt coming out. I need everybody to support. It's my militant Halloween shirt, Pro Blackula. Check me out. You grab one. Sir, why you looking like that? I think that's smooth. Pro Blackula, man. That's what's up. Is the militant
Pro Blackula?
Pro Blackula.
Oh, I'm not pro black anything. I can't.
Oh, what? You're not a demographic we're looking for, sir. You're not the demographic.
Before we get into it, we need a serious moment here on the show. Somebody who's reached out to all of us from Let's Talk Sports, Dave Harris, lost his battle with MS over the weekend, late last week, and word caught over social media. So shout out to Dan. He did a lot, bringing a lot of podcasters together. A lot of people got introduced to one another through working his efforts. He stepped away about 2 weeks ago, and I don't think anybody thought the end was that near. So rest in peace, Dan. Thank you for all the work you did, bringing people together, building that network, and I hope your legacy lives on, brother.
I know it's going to live on because there's a lot of people that, like you said, that collabed and whatnot. Rod, what's up, Rod Uncensored? That pretty much I mean, there's numerous people that's been on the I.O.W. Shows that were introduced through Dan. So definitely shouts out to him for sure. When I found out, I was like, damn, man, that sucks. Because I had just talked to that man about like maybe a month ago. Just chopping it up. Because that's one thing that he did do. He'll chop it up with you, even just behind the scenes and whatnot. So, but yeah, man. So what's up, man? Your Michigan Wolverines, man. They're looking like they're gonna keep staying at the top of these AP college polls, man. So talk to us, Detroit, man. Is when is the the tough competition of your schedule coming up. I'm gonna need y'all to start playing somebody tough, man.
Hey man, that's college football. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't just put that on Michigan.
We put that on the Big Ten.
Hey man, the Big Ten got three ranked teams in the top 10. You got Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State.
Yeah, and you're gonna lose to both.
I don't think we'll lose to both.
You're playing Rutgers and Indiana and beating them up, man. The only thing they got is good women's basketball teams.
I will say this about Rutgers. They always play teams tough, whoever they play. And same with Maryland. They just don't have all the pieces they need to be a great team. But I think Maryland and Rutgers are teams that play any. I don't just talk about Michigan that play teams tough in general. They just need a few more pieces there, and they'd be a great team. Especially Rutgers, they well coached. But I think Michigan. Well, I want to see what happens with this week with Ohio State and Penn State. I really want to see that game, see how good Penn State really is matched up against Ohio State, and then that'll tell me
in Ohio, right?
Yeah, they're playing in the Horseshoe. So I think that right there will tell me a lot about how how true the Big Ten teams are. You know what I'm saying? If it's a good close game, then I say, okay, good. But if one of them get blown out, then you know one of them was really fake. You know, Ohio State usually is a decent team throughout the year, every year after year. Last couple of years, Michigan been beating them and getting to the playoffs and dropping a egg. So let's see. They look good this year. They look balanced on both sides of the ball. And here's what I say about Michigan that I think is different than last year. And even the year before that. When they play sorry teams, they barely was beating them. This year, they actually beating up on them like they should. You know, like when Alabama played like Mercer and you see them beating like 52-7 or whatever. That's what good teams do in college. When you play the lesser competition, you're supposed to slaughter them, show no mercy. And I'm seeing them do that this year versus what they used to do years prior. And then when they get to the Ohio State games or Penn State games, if they win, they barely squeak by. So now, since they're doing this against these lesser teams, I want to see what they do when they play Ohio State, when they play Michigan State, and when they play, I think they play Penn State this year too, and when they play Penn State. But so far, they've been looking good, so we'll see.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna need y'all to stop playing them more cupcakes, man.
You know, it's funny. Nobody say that when Georgia play all these other teams, and nobody say that when Alabama play these other teams.
Well, that's because those teams actually finish the job and win the title.
I understand that, but I'm saying to his point about them saying they're only playing these cupcake teams. There's nobody saying the other teams play them, but it's always
that's him just fucking with you, though.
You know, but when Ohio State do the same thing, they still get all the props.
Oh no, see, no, because I think Nick said it just a moment ago when we started it. It's a Big Ten thing, or I think it was him or you said it was a Big Ten thing. I've noticed one thing with the Big Ten schedule that they're not like your big dog teams like your Michigan, Ohio State, State. They're not starting to match up against each other till pretty much about this back
November.
half. Yeah, about the back half of that schedule anyway. I mean, we're about to go into week 8, and then now all of a sudden you got Penn State and Ohio State. Penn State been beating up on lesser teams. Ohio State been beating up on lesser teams.
True.
Michigan been beating up on lesser teams. I think it's more of a conference situation where you guys in the Big Ten, I think you do yourself a huge disservice by having these tough games later in the back half of your schedule. So even if you take an L, it's not that much time that you can recoup from it. It's pretty much take an L and then hope and pray that we can get into the college football playoff.
Right.
And it's almost killer, like, right? With Michigan and Ohio State, that last game, it derails you and doesn't give you those rebound games. You're right, 100% right, man.
Well, one thing I do like, I'm looking forward to is when they add in USC, Washington, Oregon, and they add those teams in.
Yeah,
UCLA. I think, you know, now you're going to have a tougher team, some tougher competition, and you got the travel part you got to add into that. Because, you're going from Michigan to LA or Michigan to Washington, Michigan to Oregon. That's a nice little trip, or vice versa, or Oregon to Maryland.
Yeah.
You going from one side of the country to the other side of the country.
The other side, yeah.
Yeah, so
that's definitely a factor they'll definitely have to take into account starting next year when all this realignment is going to start.
And Michigan next year's schedule is brutal.
Well, you think about it. You're going to have to play more conference games once you add 4 teams to your conference. And you have to take less cupcake games. So instead of week 8, week 9 meeting up with somebody, you're going to have to start seeing them week 3 and week 4.
Right. Which is cool to me. I rather see it. I rather see it.
I don't blame you. It gives you that more stiffer competition to see what you really are made of and do it earlier. Do it earlier in the calendar year. Let's not wait till back half of that schedule. Let's because 2-3 weeks, hopefully you can start seeing exactly what your team's going to be. So put them up to the test to stiffer competition. So we'll see about that.
Real quick, adding on to that.
Go ahead.
It's not just blowing smoke up your ass either with it, and you guys know I never love agreeing with Lamar. But the first 3 games, East Carolina, UNLV, and BGSU. I don't even know what that is.
Bowling Green.
Big Girl Sweaty University. Oh, I thought it was Big Girl Sweaty University.
Yeah.
It was
my favorite university.
The scores I know. That's ironically, their colors
big holes need love too.
Granted, you could say those games were without Harbaugh, but it was 30-3, 35-7, 31-6. Then they start the Big Ten schedule, which should get more difficult. And it's been 31-7 with Rutgers, 45-7 with Nebraska, 52-10 with Minnesota, 52-7 with Indiana. They're outscoring teams in the Big Ten 180-31 in 4 games. So normally when you start conference play, it gets more competitive when you're an elite, Power 5. And now they got Michigan State this week, who just lost to Rutgers. That game shouldn't be competitive. Then it's Purdue. And then, like Mar said, you sprinkle in Penn State and then Maryland and then Ohio State. You got 2 competitive games on your whole schedule. You're not really tested. And that's why when you go up against an SEC team in the playoffs, you just look outmatched because you're not really battle tested. The one game against Ohio State was in the snow and they couldn't do a goddamn thing. So you didn't get a real test of what that game was going to be compared to the tournament, which is usually in a dome in a neutral site with fair weather. So it's rough, man. The Big Ten is not the SEC where you got 7-8 teams that can be ranked at any given time during the season.
Yeah. And speaking of rankings, I'm looking at these rankings right now. You're seeing a lot of SEC and surprising, seeing a lot of Pac-12 teams. And you talk about the conference that don't even want to exist no more, and they're putting a lot of teams in these top 25.
It's like a last hurrah.
I think that's what it is. It's almost like the Pac-12 swan song. Hey, let's just have a lot of ranked teams and beat the crap out of each other and mess up the rankings just about every week. So,
big news coming out of Georgia.
Yes,
while we're talking the top teams, Bauer's he's going to have an ankle procedure today, and he should be able to return. It's just a matter of if he will want to at that point. He might just
so let me ask you,
focus on the NFL.
That's what I was about to ask you. So let me ask you a question. If you're in that point in time, I get it. You didn't won 2 national championships. You can get a 3rd one if you wanted to, but at this point, like, what else is there to do in college football for you? If I'm Brock Bowers, man, me personally, I need this ankle surgery on the ankle. Yeah, man. After it's done, I'm just gonna be getting ready for the draft. That's just me personally. I mean, you're talking about an easily top 10 pick sitting right there when the draft comes around. So I refer to you, draft guy or draft guru, big homie Nick, man. If you were Brock Bowers, man, would it even be worth coming back right now?
I could see it from either side. I actually had the chat today with some people, the Jets guys. We were talking a little bit of it. I'm a Georgia fan, so I want to see him come back. I want to see the three-peat. We know how dynamic he is. Somebody on the a backup tight end had that procedure August 25th. And he was back cleared to play September 25th. So he should be cleared. We're still mid-October. He should be cleared mid-November before Thanksgiving. It's just a matter of if he'll want to, and then you'll see the type of character and commitment he has. I'm going to say it. I think it's really soft when guys bail. That's my mindset. If you're in a school and you ain't got nothing you're playing for, I don't respect it. You commit to a team where you're at on every level. I get that, but nowadays with NIL, you make money in college. You don't need to completely write it off anymore.
Yeah.
And I played sports at one point. There's always the competitor in me, and I think if you're cleared and you decide not to play, it's like, man, what? Really?
Yeah. I can see it on both ends too.
I look at it I look at the person different when they decide to bail. Like, you make money in college. Listen, you get hurt. We see guys still get drafted high, even though they're hurt. Because you're not drafting the guy to play in April when they get drafted. You're drafting the guy for the next 4, 5, 6, 10 years. So I don't get that aspect of it. I wouldn't use that. I mean, obviously, if you're a runner and you tear a knee, that's one thing. But you have a little ankle thing done, a high ankle sprain, and you just getting a tightrope surgery, it's called, just to tighten it up.
Yeah.
Fuck that, man. They ain't going to affect this draft. He's still a top 3 talent.
Yeah.
Talent-wise, non-quarterbacks, because, everyone takes quarterbacks differently. It's Harrison Jr., it's Fashanu/Alt, the 2 tackles from Penn State and Notre Dame, and then Bowers is your tight end. So, it's his talent is elite. It's just a matter of teams drafting need, the pass rusher, the left tackle, the quarterback. That can make him slide down to that 8 to 12 range, but I think whoever gets him is going to get a magnificent weapon. This guy's a mismatch, man. He scored 40-yard touchdowns 3 straight weeks before he got injured the other day.
Yeah.
You don't see tight ends taking balls to the house very often. Not since, like, the name that popped into my head was Kyle Pitts in college, and then, like, Kellen Winslow in college. That was somebody who took a lot of things to the distance, like wide receivers do. So he's got elite speed. He's not just a old school Iowa methodical tight end. You know what I mean? This dude can fly.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I get it. It's just it's pretty much at this point it's all business decisions. And we just got to be frank about that, because it's just the time and place that we live in this society when you got a situation like this. So hey, I hear you, and I hear both sides of the spectrum. Jump in on this, Mel.
Yeah, I mean, I can see on both sides. My thing is, for me who plays sports, the competitor in me will want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the ankle sprain, you probably have to hold me back not to go in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I do understand from that standpoint. I understand from the other side, because you get the surgery, come back in, whether you tweak it again or retweak something else, and then it could be career ending, or you tweak it again and you out for a while. Yeah, so he probably will get drafted regardless. I mean, look, Jameson Williams got drafted and he was hurt. Other players got drafted and they were hurt. So yeah, he might still get drafted, but we don't know where and how that's going to affect his draft stock. We can only assume where he's going to go, and how he's going to get drafted. And so, with the NIL, I can make money, but I can sit back and make my money and then look at, okay, I done won 2 national championships. I'm getting ready for the NFL, get myself in shape, get ready for the NFL. So I can see both sides. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at him either way, because I respect my man for making a business decision, putting his body before the game. But at the same time, me personally, I would want to play. That's my personal thing.
Hey, no doubt about it. I just think that we all got that competitive spirit that you want to be out there. You want to play ball, you want to compete. And
he was good, but 3 is better.
Hey, 3 is better. And look at it. I mean, I'm not saying that you put Brock Bowers up there, but why not continue to add to your legacy? One of the best college football players out there. I'm not sure that puts him up there next to a Tim Tebow or somebody like that. It probably doesn't. But
Charlie Ward.
Yeah, why the hell not? I mean,
best quarterback in New York in the mid-'90s, man, with the trash that the Jets and Giants are throwing out. Charlie Ward.
Hey, Charlie Ward was that guy, man. And just also look at it this way, man. The NFL's not going nowhere. Nick brought this up. When you're making money NIL in college football, hey man, I wish I was 20, 21 making $3-4 million a year in college. Come on. I fuck with me. Like, so you know.
I don't know, man. But see me, I know like all 19, man, I kind of you couldn't tell me shit.
No, if I couldn't tell you shit right now, if you
I know, so now imagine I had 3 or 4 million. That's my point. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you can't tell you shit.
Having 3-4 million with these college women nowadays, man. That should.
Man, you know how many drugs I have access to?
Oh my goodness. I think
I'd be like, some in this glass, some in that glass.
Oh my goodness, I can't with you. Yeah, but I mean, yes, there's so much, a lot of things you could definitely get into
right.
at that age with $3-4 million. But hey, Brock Bowers is going to do what's right for him. End of the day, NFL's not going nowhere. It'll be right there, waiting for him. And he's going to be, one of the best.
Definitely.
One of the best prospects coming into the draft, no matter what. But man, I don't know if anybody got a chance to see, my short that I did about the blown game on Friday night for Colorado Buffaloes, man. Look here.
I was pissed about that because here's my thing.
Right, no, wait. Are you telling me you actually stayed up to?
No, hell no. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. I was like, oh, it's 29 nothing. I ain't got this in the game in the back. I flipped to something else. You know what I'm saying?
I was like,
and then I looked up. I looked up, watched my phone come. I was like, what the hell? They lost.
I'm happy. I didn't even know the fucking game was on. I'm happy that the excitement and the hysteria has died down. They should be playing the game on Friday night that nobody knows about at 11 p.m.
I don't think the hysteria is dead, bro.
Yeah, I don't think the hysteria is dead.
It was, dude. It was. We were leading shows with this in late August. It was early September. It was there. Don't back it now. Like I was not big on it. I hated talking about it, but it was there. Not just our show, a lot of shows.
Wait a minute, man, misunderstand what you're saying. Man, misunderstand what you're saying. You saying say what you're saying again. Cause I think I'm misunderstanding what you're saying.
The hysteria about Colorado was
okay.
And people were putting the carriage way before the horse.
Okay. I see what you're saying now.
Heisman trophies and could they compete for a title? And
I always say now. Me personally, always said that he had some holes he need to fill on that team.
Yeah.
I said that, and I said I see what he's doing. He's moving it forward. It's looking better than it did last year, but he has some holes he need to fill on that team. And every time I watch the game, nothing changed.
Yeah.
My opinion didn't change. Let me say that. My opinion didn't change. I still see holes he need to fill. Is he on the right track? Yeah, I give him he's on the right track because if he lose 2 more games and win the rest, he still brought this program forward compared to where it was.
Oh yeah.
Yes. But bringing Colorado from a 1-win team to 4, 5, 6-win season is progress.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the progress they're going to make, because they are going to lose a lot more games. They're not done losing yet. They got like 3-4 games against ranked teams that
they got Utah, they got UCLA,
Oregon State's on there.
Touchdown dogs. They got Utah. They losing this game to Stanford. Stanford was a 1-win team.
Yeah, they should not lost.
Showing that you on that level.
And that's why I needed to make that real, because I think people got to realize there's a difference between prime realists and prime apologists. And you can't be an apologist for what happened. That, like Nick said, that was a 1-win team. Stanford is so. Here's the thing that really killed me is the defensive coordinator is literally letting one dude kill you.
Yeah.
I can't even pronounce his name. Never heard of him. But now everybody in college football will know who he is. The guy for 13 of Stanford.
Yeah, they talking about
Alec Almanara. I don't know. I can't pronounce
some motherfucker.
But yeah, the dude had 13 catches, 249 yards, and 3 TDs. At one point in time, then you say, hey, at one point, man, we got to stop this dude. Like, do you wait till you get to 13?
There's nobody that can stop him. That's the point.
You come up with a scheme or something.
Yeah, that's a thing.
But sometimes you just don't have the talent or the ability to do it.
They got a few bright spots.
Like Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter got his ass dragged for 15 yards into the end zone with no attempt to tackle.
Hey, that was a good catch. And I want.
Great. He caught it at like the 12 and just kept backpedaling his ass in.
Mm-hmm.
See, but here's why I feel bad for Travis, because he's obviously going to be the one stuck on that island. There's no reason why you have a guy that hasn't played in almost a month playing that many plays on both sides of the football and trying to cover the only guy that's killing you right now. Like I didn't understand that game.
They don't have nobody else, Lamar. That's the problem. They don't have.
You better.
I agree with you. The problem is they got a few bright spots on that team, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Next year he may get more players and be able to fill those holes. But dealing with what we see right now and what he has right now, there's a few bright spots, and that's it. Yeah. And then even with those bright spots, they still need some more work.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying you got to have prime realists and prime apologists. People that's going to keep it real about prime, who's going to support prime, but they're going to be honest about the problems that their team has. Right. And guess what? You know what the biggest problem they got right now is? I don't even know if did you hear what he said in the press conference? I got to figure out if these guys want it or not. Whoa, if we're having that kind of conversation right now, now we're having real problems.
Right.
What do you mean? I got to figure out if these guys want it or not?
Halfway through the season.
Yeah.
You brought them all here.
Yeah, we. Hey, what you mean? We need to figure out
how you calling them out. You blow a 29-0 lead. It's time to look in the mirror and question you and your staff, not the kids. That's the shit I don't like. If you're gonna build all these kids up when they're winning and succeeding and you're beating bad teams, how are you gonna throw them under the bus with a loss that you helped facilitate?
Yeah,
that's the shit where you see an inexperienced coach.
Yeah, that was no
adjustment. That's when you see the player Dion talking and not the coach Dion talking.
Well, because I mean, and obviously because he said it in the press conference, he's like, man, I don't know this feeling. I don't know. And here's the thing about it is when you see great players in their respective fields done so much greatness, it's hard to translate that to other people because they're not you. Same problem with Jordan had an issue with managing a basketball team. He couldn't do it. He wasn't good for it because he's expecting a certain level from where his personal level is, but not everybody's at his personal level. That's not, I mean, if there was a whole bunch of people at Michael Jordan levels, there'd be a whole bunch of a lot of great players out here. So it's
it's like this, man. It's like when you a player, you taking what you learn and your skill, putting it together and producing it into a product. When you're a coach, you taking your experience and your knowledge and you delivering that to other players. You imparting that to someone else. And sometimes, well, I'm saying, but sometimes people can't make that transition from player to coach. I'm not saying that's what prime problem is because I really, really dug deep into looking at it. But I'm saying sometimes that's what it is. You were a great player or was a great player. You had a skill level, plus you learned some things. It ain't always about skill. Things you learned, experience, some good coaching, so forth, film study, all that stuff goes into that.
Yeah.
You learn that and you produced on the field. Now you got to take all that you have and pour that into
somebody else. And sometimes it's hard to take that and pour that into somebody else. That's where teaching comes in. Learn how to be a teacher, not a student. And sometimes it's hard to make that transition. Hey, fair point.
What's up, Flo?
What's going on, Flo? Shout out. Hey, Flo, man, I picked your Cowboys today, man. Talk to Jerry. Tell him to make sure that they got him under control, or at least make sure that he
should get Dak under control.
Well, or at least make sure the bag enough to the ref is big enough. All right, let's make sure that I need to come back in these standings, man. And which, by the way, I gotta say this in the I.O.W. Pick'em League. We have 2 ladies leading the charge.
Good.
Yeah. two women are leading the charge in a pick'em league, sitting at the top of the throne. They're going back and forth. Hey, it goes to show you, man. The ladies are starting to watch the football, man. Gotta get into it, man. Big gotta.
Yeah, that's why I keep saying too, Flo.
Whoa. Let's not put it like that, Flo.
The D has gotta show up. Yes, it does.
Yeah, see, we're trying to gain more viewers. We're trying to get more women viewers. Maybe
that's why the D is gonna show up.
I'm sure the women would agree with that statement.
Going back to that
a bad night if it don't.
Going back to that fat sweaty university
and like, oh, this never happened before.
I'll be at that fat sweaty university like this. The D is gonna show up.
Yeah, goodness, my goodness, yes, sir. Damn, I kind of opened the doors open for that one, but it's all right. Let's move this on. Real quick. I know a lot of people were in full, football mode right now, but I do gotta, speak about this real quick. Major League Baseball playoffs have been going on. The Dodgers, one of the biggest payrolls, got swept. They're out of there. Orioles, one of the best teams, they're out of there. Braves are out of there. One of the best team in all of regular season, out of there. So you got Phillies and Diamondbacks. Their game one starts tonight. Last night in the ALCS, Houston took the loss.
Coffee while you're talking baseball. I'll be back.
Houston lost to Texas. So there's that. No, man. Obviously, I didn't expect Baltimore, Atlanta, and Dodgers just to kind of bail out when not even fight.
I don't know, man. The Dodgers, what's going on, man? Last year you won all them games. You got put out early. This year, you're looking like you were going to be the favorite. You get put out early. The Orioles, I'm not as surprised. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I thought they would at least get past the first round, but I'm not as surprised. Mm-hmm. But the Braves, bro, it's like no one's going to beat the Braves the way they're playing in a regular season and get swept.
Yeah.
And then you gotta tip your hats off to the Phillies. They always show up at the right time.
Well, they eliminated them last year.
Last year, what they do? If they barely got in last year. Wasn't it last year they barely got in and came in and they beat the Braves?
Yep. Eliminated them.
And they couldn't, and everybody's like, well, they ain't have Acuna and all this stuff. He played this time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
what we saying now?
Yeah, what's the excuse now?
Yeah.
So you the Braves, what do you do? What changes do you make?
I don't know, my man. I really don't know. If you're the Braves, obviously, maybe more pitching. I guess maybe.
But your pitching looked good through the regular season.
Hell, maybe you might need to get some more because your hit was fine. Obviously, all the home runs you were hitting,
right?
Because here's the deal. Here's the deal when you start doing all that hitting, getting all those home runs and doing that all in the regular season. The only problem is if we get down to the playoff times and your bats go cold,
so it gets tighter. It gets tighter. The pitching gets tighter. Everything gets tighter. The defense. Everything is different in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and you have to be built for playoff baseball versus regular season baseball, and that's why I think the Dodgers and Atlanta's problem. They built for the regular season, but not built for the playoffs.
Now, I will say this. I heard people say, "Oh, should Dave Roberts go?" And I'm like, I don't think you should get rid of him. The fact of the matter is I think he's garnered enough clout to last a couple of more years, maybe two, at the most 2 to 3 years.
I don't know, man. He do the same thing again next year. I'm looking at him side eye.
Yeah, but you got to remember, man, that championship that they won in the COVID year, that should stretch them at least 3-4 more years. Of clout.
How come we don't give them the same thing we do the Lakers and they COVID championship?
Because the Lakers actually are a historic NBA franchise that win championships. When was the last time the Dodgers won one? I mean, you're talking about it's been a minute since the Dodgers won a World Series.
Is that the Kirk Gibson time?
At highlight, late 80s.
Did they win one after that? I can't even remember now. Think about it, and I gotta think about it. They won one after Kirk Gibson.
It's been a hot minute. So it's they always had good teams that can go far, make a World Series appearance, but they bring it home. And so when he brought it home in the COVID year, that gives him a little Doc Rivers clout where he can live off that shit for a few years. So I mean,
the Rangers look good, man. You gotta give them props, especially from where they came from.
Their bats were just as deadly as the Braves. Not as deadly as the Braves, but they were putting up crazy numbers battage wise as well. So you see some of the pitching moves that they made. They go get Scherzer. Unfortunately, they lose DeGrom, but you saw that they made efforts to make a just as deadly pitching rotation and bullpen that could match your bat. So that's when it always comes down to some of these teams that can have balance, as in, yeah, we're going to be able to hit, but we're also going to be able to shut you down on the pitching side and play good defense. So,
and I think too, man, especially with the playoffs, is that you got to be able to not only hit home runs, but be able to, when a game is tight, play that small ball. I think that's when small ball really kicks in, is during the playoffs. Because sometimes, strike zone get a little tighter, smaller. Everything gets real tight, and you have to be able to pull out, a few bases hits here, maybe bunting, maybe steal a base there. Just kind of just grind it out and get those 1-2 run wins. Followed by good pitching, good defense. All that has to be a part of it in the playoffs. The regular season is different. The playoffs, even the umpires is like they calling the strikes different. You know what I'm saying? And balls different in the playoffs. I
don't even know if that's a good thing or not, because the way that they've been having their strikes on all year is so damn literally is almost about the size of the Mississippi River. How long?
Yeah, Flo, right. You're right, Flo. I'm just saying though, and that's another show we can talk about refereeing in all sports. That's a whole other show.
Oh Lord,
you know what I'm saying?
Don't get me started on that Giants shit last night. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
What's the matter, Lamar? Now all of a sudden you're against bad calls in an NFL game? Where's that shit been the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, I thought you saw getting coffee. And you did, motherfuckers.
Now Lamar's like, oh yeah, they do miss calls and make bad calls. 2 weeks ago, was, I don't want to hear nothing about the referees and the officials. The game's decided in 60 minutes. Now he's like, oh, it sucks when it happens to other teams.
This guy over here. No, I was actually happy that it happened with the Bills, because I'm like, I want you guys to have that same energy about the Bills like I do my damn squad. Shit. Look, the good teams get away with it. I need y'all to have that same damn energy. That's how I
game. It's a great game. Yeah. I only saw the highlights. I didn't see the whole game, but yeah.
He's Jordan Montgomery.
Is he the first guy to have at least 6+ scoreless innings and different appearances in playoff history or something like that? Because I think the last appearance he had, he went like 6+ and scoreless innings. Obviously, he's never had
Yankee Jordan Montgomery, right?
I believe so.
So it's something like that where he is not complete games, but he's definitely leaving. When you leaving the game that is scoreless, and he's haven't allowed a run or something like that. I saw the stat. It was crazy like that.
Don't talk complete games. You got a better chance of Major League Baseball saying we are not allowing black athletes anymore than you do having complete games pitched in fucking baseball. Like, it don't happen, dude.
Yeah, they don't exist no more.
You get 4 or 5 innings out of your starter. It's amazing nowadays.
Well, because
I was watching,
you gotta remember, baseball is the like spearhead of analytics, and so they're saying, hey, you're better off having your starters go 5-6 innings and then turn it over to your bullpen and win that way. So I mean, that's what
I think it's situational, because I can't remember which game I was watching. God, I want to say it's the Atlanta game, and don't quote me because I don't remember, but the pitcher was dominating, and the manager came out and wanted to pull him in the 5th inning. I was like, let him go to the 6th. Let him pitch another inning, because he was dominating.
Hey man,
so I think for me, I'm looking at how the situation going. If it's like the batters are starting to get ahead of him, then you may want to pull him. But if he's staying ahead of the batters and putting them away,
and he's in the 6th inning. Oh yeah,
he's in the 5th inning. He's gonna pull him. I was like, let him go to 6.
Well, come on. I'm used to seeing cats at least go to the 8th or 9th.
Oh yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, in that situation, at least gonna go to 6.
That's the era all three of us grew up in baseball.
Put your middle in a 7.
When men were men.
And then in the 9th, you put your closer in and finish the game on out.
Yeah.
To me, that's how you should have did it. But he put him. I think he put him in the 5th. I was like, why?
Yeah. Wasn't that one of Steven Regal's?
Yeah, Steven Regal.
First came to WWE, or a man's man. Always looking like he just got a freaking Dirty Sanchez done to him.
Oh, not the Dirty Sanchez.
Oh my goodness, the face that was just made was just hideous. Oh my god,
like a Dirty Sanchez.
Yes. But Major League Baseball is still in full effect. And I'm gonna sneak this in real quick before we get to NFL. Hey, WNBA. Hey, this is how you build your product. Now, this is what you don't do. Don't have your WNBA finals right in the middle of NFL football.
Yeah, that was dumb as hell.
Yeah, you're killing you.
Anyone that watches football cares.
I'm just saying. Well, because I love all sports and I want to see the women succeed, but this was a silly move, dog.
I had to say this. I'm one who I like to back the WNBA. I like to back women's sports and have my outlet once they get out of college. I think they should have a professional baseball.
Your alternative, sir.
No, but
I'm waiting for a punchline.
It's no punchline. It's no punchline. I think that baseball should have. Softballs have a graduation out of college into some kind of professional, so they're having a chance to make a career out of the sport they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
But my problem with the WNBA is the way they responding and reacting to people giving them good suggestions to make the sport better. Every sport evolves. Every sport. I don't care. We just got to talking about back in the day when we used to watch certain sports. Every sport evolves. And they telling you how to make your sport better, and you acting arrogant and you saying certain things. That's a turn off. That's a turn off for me. Period. I'm really gonna look at you like, okay, I don't even want to watch it, because if I'm gonna make your sport better, whatever it may be, at the very least, try to suggest and see if it works. At the very least, this ain't people like you and I who just like casual fans. These are people who played the sport and telling you how to make it better, and you just shove it off. No, we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
And then 5 years now, when the NBA is tired of subsidizing it and funding and taking a loss, and then now you crying like, oh, we need some help. Well, we tried to help you 5 years before this, 10 years prior to that, and you said no. That's my problem with them. Go ahead, Nick. What's your bullshit you about to say?
Only one way to make the WNBA better.
Go ahead.
You allow trans men in it so the game can be exciting.
I was waiting.
That'll probably be the one that gets it all there.
No matter when you put that, no matter when you decide to air that product, there will be better sports going up against it. It's not like they're getting 20 million people watching and then it goes up against the NFL and it's like there's 300,000 watching. It's not an enticing product for a lot of sports fans. There's a lot of things that you can do to help improve the game to make it more exciting. I think you can lower the rim. I think you can shorten the court. I think you can make it where it's more conducive to that level of athleticism. You already made the ball smaller, so you're already saying that they can't handle the ball the same as
and that's the problem. But see, Nick, that's the problem. I understand. They allow you to change the size of the ball. I don't have a problem with that. I think they 3-point lines are slightly. I can't remember an inch. The measurements, but it's in slightly.
I don't know.
But then you won't lower the rim and do other things to make it better. You already given these concessions before. I'm confused by that. You know,
probably
here's
because
my
they've
thing.
been there for so long that you don't want to make it look like you're admitting it's an insult to them, right? We've been doing this our whole lives this way. How are you going to lower it? You know what I mean?
But it's lower when they play international. Someone play international. Yeah. So it still doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? At the very least, it helps you out because when you go from international back to over here, there's no change or adjustment you have to make. It's the same all across the board.
I'm just saying it was just a bad idea to put your NBA finals, which is supposed to determine your champion, and how dare you try to think that you were going to go against NFL. I just thought that was a bad business decision.
But how many people are on the fence?
I will say this: they get,
you know what I mean, Lamar?
The highest amount they watch doing playoffs is 300,000
today. But the Raiders,
see, but that's the thing.
The Aces are playing at the same time.
See, but that's what I'm saying. The Aces, as much as I love the Aces, I love what they do. They you know, unfortunately didn't finish the job done. Liberty got game 3. But you can't go up against, even though, like you said, you can't even go up against the weaker of matchups and think that you're going to get viewership. It's just that content in the product is just not there enough to grab a lot of attention to think you're even going to beat out a Cardinals Patriots game. You're just not going to do it.
Yeah, no. And here's the thing, though, Lamar. Here's what I say. And I don't think you is ever going to get to a point where you're going to get NBA numbers. You're going to get NFL numbers. And you're never going to get to that. So that right there isn't even a goal you should be looking for. Your goal is to make it a better product to attract where you can make
I agree
profit. That's all you're looking for, to make a profit. Because
that's impossible. You just
hold on, Nick.
Suicide to go up against any type of NFL.
And I don't disagree with you. I agree with you on that. I think my point is they got a lot of hurdles to get over. You're gonna have a lot of men who just refuse to watch it because it's women basketball, period.
Mm-hmm.
That they're not even gonna give it a second look because it's women basketball. So they're already going into with a biased viewpoint. So you got that hurdle already. Then you got some people like us that will watch it, but then you're looking at the product and say, yeah, it can be better. Yeah. And then you have the players who are arrogant about not changing to make it better. And so you got all these hurdles, and then at the same time, you're taking a loss. I mean, you look at beach volleyball. I watched that. I think that's a great product.
I wonder why.
It'll never still get the same amount of views as the other major sports that we just named. But they got their own lane, and
I think
they stick to that lane.
I think you're watching it for when they remove the sand. I think,
but you know what? I think beach volleyball is better than watching it in the gym. I think it's just a better product to me.
But here's what kills me, because you saw what University of Iowa did with a exhibition game. All right, they literally took Caitlin Clark's popularity, and for an exhibition game, filled that stadium, Kinnick Stadium, for the college where the Hawkeyes play. They filled it up with 56,000 people for a scrimmage game. Right. So my thing is hey, WNBA, hey, I got a suggestion. Kathy Engelbert, who is the WNBA commissioner, holla at me. I got the greatest idea for you, and listen up. So when you do it and you make a lot of money for it, go ahead and sponsor I.O.W. and everybody that we collab with. All right, just cut the check.
Cut that check.
This is what you do. Since Caitlin Clark has that much popularity to bring 56,000 people to an exhibition game, how about this? Your league runs from mid-May to early September. That's a great window for you to put a basketball game outside, because the weather will be, more workable, more feasible, and you don't have to go up against football yet. If football's not coming until August, early September.
Mm-hmm.
When Caitlin Clark comes to your league, WNBA, she has that much love and support from her university days. Go back to Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City, and have a game. Angel Reese comes to your WNBA. Go to Death Valley and go have a game down in Louisiana. You got Aaliyah Boston. You got Asia Wilson. They got popularity still back in Columbia, South Carolina. Go play an outside football game. They can fit 100,000 people in that stadium. I mean, you got to find ways to get
for football.
your eyes. Yeah, you're right. But I'm saying if Caitlin Clark's bringing 56,000 in on an exhibition in October,
but the college product is better though. The college product is better.
It is, but what I'm saying is, at some point, the WNBA is that vessel that your college ladies go to.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want them to keep going across seas. This is how you keep them in the States. This is how you create the revenue. This is how you create the popularity so that they don't have to go into Europe and go play overseas.
Right.
I think I forget his name, and forgive me. The bottom line play the game flow. Yeah, play the games before. I've brought that up on the show here before.
I think
he said play the WNBA games after the NBA game, because before, the men are going to get ready. They're the main event, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got to have their rituals. They got to have their time to get ready. Why can't it be like a college game? I brought that up here on before. 30 minutes after that starts, and now people who leave, you can publicly shame. Well, why didn't you stay? You bought the ticket. You know what I mean? You can put public pressure on people, force them to watch and view your product. Spike Lee, you left. Why did you leave? You know what I mean? You can shame people into staying and view your product. It's sad that has to be done, but it could be a tactic that they could use to grow and get more eyes on the game. Now, listen, you get 100 people in a room who are sports fans, maybe 5% of those catch on. That's a win compared to where you're at, right? You get 1,000 people and 50 people catch on. That's a good win for this sport that doesn't get viewership, doesn't get attendance. I think it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
I just think it's not something that draws the sport's eye. I don't think it's something that entices male viewers. As somebody who played basketball,
it don't entice women viewers. So that's the part. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't think they do a good job. I don't think they do a good job of really marketing it to the women demographic, for one thing. I'm not saying you should only stick to that demographic, but I'm just saying in general,
you should at least be your main market.
At least be your main market. You know what I'm saying? It's women's sports. You can't get women to watch it.
And that's I think that's the biggest.
I think statistics that
watch it.
The older guys are the main ones that watch it. That's what the statistics say.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like
actually because they don't know how to use the remote and change the channel.
That's what it is.
The wife's in the kitchen. They can't find the remote. That's why.
Hey, we got more batteries. These motherfuckers is dead.
But that's a sad part right there. It's like you
gotta treat it like an airline. If you want that demographic to come in, you gotta widen the seats.
Wow. I think we have reached the all time. Yeah.
I say that as a large human.
Hey, it was just a suggestion.
Especially with the human part.
Yeah. This man is not real. He is not real. No, I mean, hey, just a suggestion. I just thought, I mean, hell, if University of Iowa can bring in 56,000 on the exhibition and capitalize on that, why the hell can you not?
They just went there to wave at the hospital kids. That's all. That's the only reason they were there. They're like, oh, I could do the wave and not have to pay $84 for the Iowa Hawkeyes ticket. Iowa Buckeyes, whoever they are.
Hawkeyes, you said it right the first time.
Hey, because they're gonna bore you to death.
Again, it's the Big Ten. No one gives a shit.
Because they got no offense on that damn football
at all, bro.
Oh my goodness, they'll bore you to death. But hey, let's
produce tight ends for not having offensive football ever.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? Right.
Well, because they can block and offensive linemen. They produce that for sure.
Well, I love doing scouting and prospect review. Like, how do you guess on an Iowa tight end? Like, man, he caught that one pass his sophomore year.
Yeah. But it was one hell of a catch.
He showed potential. Oh, it's TJ Hockenson. Figures the Lions drafted him.
Oh, that's wild. But I mean, look, that's kind of just a suggestion that I have for WNBA. But let's get to Let's get to the week 6. I had some crazy things happen in the world of football this week. My goodness, there happened to be a couple of teams that won that weren't expected, teams that lost that weren't expected. So let's get into it. I mean, 49ers go in and catch that L in Cleveland. I'll say this. Yeah, they got to hold that L. I'll say this, 49ers. I've been kind of leaning towards this way, but that loss shows me exactly what I was feeling and how I think is more correct. Brock Purdy is a prisoner of the system. I know a lot of people have been going crazy about his play, like, oh man, he should be MVP. And hey, he's been playing well. He's been doing good. But here's the difference between a quarterback that is there to manage the show, and then there's a quarterback that runs the show. Because once you start losing some of your pieces, losing Debo, losing Trent Williams for a second, even though he ended up gutting it out, had a foot or ankle situation.
Right, CMC
lost CMC. So then all of a sudden, where the good football play go? It's left with him. So my thing is,
you equate that to Purdy? Like, you lose, in my opinion, up until McCaffrey got hurt. McCaffrey has been the MVP of the season so far. Not Purdy. Yes. Christian McCaffrey as a running back was the most valuable player in football so far this year.
Yeah, but people have been talking about Purdy in that conversation. I'm just saying, like, for those who've been putting Purdy in that conversation,
that's because they just fall in love with the quarterback and don't see the value of what McCaffrey does for the quarterback. I get what you're saying, and I know people have brought it up, but his numbers have been a little bit better. He had the big game against the Cowboys, as everyone did. But when you look at Purdy is a game manager, and McCaffrey and Debo. I mean, I can't imagine Zach Wilson winning a game if you take Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall off the field, right? Like that's what they lost. They lost their star running back who's better than Hall, and they lost their receiver who's more valuable than Wilson. Yeah. And you saw that. I mean, they did a great job of taking Kittle out of the game. I even asked Nikki during the game, is Kittle even playing?
Right.
He had one catch. So, I mean, the Browns defense is legit. Let's not forget that.
Great defense.
The Browns defense is legit. I'm just saying, as in, like, for those who have been given so much love to Purdy as if he should be a top 5 quarterback just based off of what he's done this year. I'm like, yeah, he's been playing well as a top 5 quarterback, but if you take away the makeup, he's not a dime. He's your average chick. So the thing is
he's a product of the system.
He is.
And the fact that
wrong with that.
The fact that he wasn't that elite prospect with that big contract, and I think that suits that situation for Shanahan to mold him.
Mm-hmm.
But you see that he can't carry an NFL team. He can work within a system. He's suited to fit it.
But to me,
he's smart. He makes quick decisions. The guys are usually open. But when you take those guys out that help everyone get open, that's a factor.
That's one key thing people don't realize too. When you have a Debo Samuel on your team, he's going to draw double team. That allows I.U. to get open. That allows Kittle to get open. That opens up your running game because you don't know if Debo goes in motion, they're going to jet sweep him, give him up to the middle. You don't know what he's going to do. So you have to be on guard for that. So I think having those players, and then you add CMC who was missing, so he comes out the backfield catch. You got the guard for that. And while you watch for that, here comes I.U. coming out on the seam route. So it's like a lot of different things that happens when different players are in the game.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a problem with him being a game manager because he suits that team. It doesn't take away who the 49ers are.
No.
A good team. No, I'm not saying what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking to what. Go ahead.
To the bigger thing. To the bigger thing of with the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, are they still one of the better teams in the NFL? Yes. But losing the way that they did shows us that, yes, they are. They're not perfect, just like any other team in the NFL.
No, but when they're fully healthy, they are as close to a perfect as you can be. Losing those two guys definitely affect you.
No argument there.
And here's why. I.O.W.'s not a number one wide receiver. I.O.W. is an elite number two. Now you force him to be a number one. You put him into a role he's not built for. He complements Debo. McCaffrey coming out of the game. Sure, you can bring in the other guy. I forget his name. Had a touchdown run in the Cowboy game. He scored a Mason.
Yeah, but we know what's up. We know what's up.
He's not a number one back. I mean, you're putting guys into roles now instead of being complementary players. They're forced to be the guy, and they're not built for that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I put the kiss of death on him. I put the shabak on him last week when I said if this team stays healthy, I don't see anyone lining up and beating them. And of course, bang, 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 everyone gets hurt.
What I'm saying is that's always been our concern in Achilles' heel with the 49ers is durability. And when you see it come together. So this is what I got from that game. The durability part with the 49ers has always been the Achilles' heel. And here's another part. When you go up against a team that is another smash mouth physical team like you and can punch you in the mouth just as hard, if not harder. So it doesn't bode well for the 49ers to go up against a team that is very physical because that, like you said, that Cleveland defense is legit.
Yes, Nick. What's up?
As a Jet fan, can we not mention Achilles' heels, please? There was a great tweet yesterday because we beat the Bills. Rodgers' Achilles heel. We beat the Broncos. Elijah Vera Tucker goes out with Achilles heel. Someone tweeted yesterday, wait, the Jets won a game and we didn't lose anyone to Achilles heel? What the hell's going on here?
But
don't mention that body part, man. It's a sore subject, literally.
No, it's one of those things where 49ers ran up against another bully in the yard and they just got out bullied yesterday. And it didn't help that when they was getting bullied that they was losing some key pieces. And I just think that probably
you gotta add too, man. It's the NFL, man. You're gonna lose some games.
Well, because a lot of people are gonna look at him like, oh, PJ Walker, come on, you losing him. What are you doing? So
I tell people it's the NFL, man. The 49ers may lose 2 or 3 more games. Doesn't mean they're not a good team. It just happens. I mean, the Chiefs in the 2 Super Bowls they have, they go undefeated?
No. There's first of all, there's nobody ever going undefeated ever again.
Okay, I'm just saying. My point is that it's the NFL. You're gonna lose some games, and I'm not speaking to you, but I'm speaking to what I've seen on Twitter and people talking about. It's like,
but we're gonna talk shit.
Calm down, pump your brakes. You know what I'm saying? It's the NFL.
Yeah. I just needed to point out a difference on how Brock Purdy plays, and have all those Brock Purdy, apologists start freaking out. Oh my God!
Those are people who just watch the game just to be watching the game. They
Brock Purdy fans, they don't really know what's going on.
They in love with the fanfare. They in love with the little.
Alex Smith than he is Peyton Manning. So let's relax.
What was the first name? He's closer to what?
Closer to Alex Smith than he is Peyton Manning. Like, let's relax.
Yeah. I think his goal is to have a career like Alex Smith,
which is fine.
Yeah,
for a guy who was the last pick of the draft, he's the first guy to ever be relevant, drafted as Mr. Irrelevant. So anything he accomplishes exceeds what his expectations should have been. Starting quarterback. There was a great meme I saw about Nick Bosa, and it said the last 5 games Nick Bosa has lost has all been to non-white quarterbacks. And, and it's got the picture of Bosa with like his head down.
That's hilarious.
I love the internet.
Hey, internet is
undefeated.
Undefeated, bro. Undefeated. But I mean, it be like that sometimes.
Unlike the 49ers and Eagles.
Well, let's talk about the Eagles. Was
it the Bengals?
Hey, that Bengals and Seahawks game was a good game. Now, here's the thing about that game that really irked me.
I didn't see it, but go ahead.
Is I don't know how the hell like Geno could get the team up and down, but they once they get to the red zone, they stunk it up the joint. I gotta give Got to give the Bengals defense credit, man. They was a bend don't break type of defense. I mean, Gino could
always have been.
Yeah, they could march the football up and down against the Bengals, but when it mattered, when it gets to that red zone, man, that Bengals defense clamped down. And I sometimes some of the play callings I was like, oh, yeah, what are y'all doing? Like, come on, you gotta get a little bit more creative.
It was Super Bowl all over again.
No, but you know what? I'm seeing that as an issue across all of NFL. The offenses for majority of teams are struggling in the red zone. So pretty much, if they're not getting you outside the red zone.
Why
go ahead. What are you saying, Nick?
Why do I think?
Why? Yeah, I got a theory. I want to hear what you guys think first. Why do you think that is?
I just think at some point in time is that just the offensive play calling gets real shitty when it gets close that tight space. Obviously, the red zone is more compressed, and I just think these play callers aren't smart enough to come up with different ways to get in.
I won't say that's smart enough. More than I say, maybe outsmart themselves, or they're not creative enough. I give them that, but I think a lot of them have the football intellect. But a lot of times you get down there, and especially when I watch some games, they try to get so fancy and creative. It's like, bruh, you on the 2-yard line, run the damn ball.
Yeah.
All this other stuff.
Keep it simple, stupid. Right?
Just keep it simple. All this other stuff, all this motion and jet sweeps and all. Run the ball. You can't run the ball, then you need to go back to the drawing board, especially if you're on the 2-yard line.
I think it's a combination of what you guys are saying, but I'm going to add one more little caveat to it. Mm-hmm. The speed and athleticism of the defenders nowadays. Mm-hmm. The shorter the field gets, the more compact the defense gets. And you always hear gang tackle. They can get to the ball faster. The linebackers, the safeties, even the D linemen, the DNs, guys like Huff and Jermaine Johnson on the Jets. They might pass rush, then they're getting out and making a tackle 3-4 yards downfield to the sideline.
That's why you're seeing guys is better for that speed.
Yeah, but the closer, like the Ravens always used to say, they have that bend but don't break defense. That once we get down in the red zone, we tighten up. You're physically tightening up too. It's not like a scheme you're tightening up. You're getting closer together. You can get a hand on a ball. You can do different things. You can blitz more because there's less area to throw to that's open. So
we'll get to the Raiders. Hold on.
No, we're not.
I can answer that for you right now. Some of that's luck.
We talked about the Aces more than we talked about the Raiders. I will say this about the Raiders. I had the Raiders at 1-5 and sellers for Devontae Adams, and now they're 3-3. I'm like, son of a bitch, we're gonna have to trade for Hunter Renfrow instead.
But go ahead. Did you finish your point? I ain't mean to cut you off.
I did kind of.
Okay.
You know, it's just when you spread defense out, you got to worry about getting beat downfield. You could put that one safety high, 18 yards off the line. Now you're bringing those guys closer together. It's almost like having 11 in the box, right? Instead of 8. Mm-hmm. So I just think the combination of what all three of us said, play callers getting too cute, trying to outthink themselves, sometimes just go with what works. Like run it until they stop it. If you drove that far down the field, why have a different set of plays? Now you got your red zone plays. We saw the call sheet for Sean Payton the other day, 14 and in. Go with what works. If it worked from the other 20-yard line for 60 yards, 55 yards from the 25 to the 20, why change it? Why get cute?
Right.
So I think there's a whole bunch of reasons, but good answers by everybody.
Yeah. That
was what we call a collaboration in the business.
Collaboration. But I mean, I just think I've been noticing, like, because I just been seeing it as a world, as a overall theme for all offenses that just been struggling. It hasn't just been just one team struggling to get points in the offense. So pretty much between the 20s and 20s, you got to get your point somewhere. I know kickers are having a field day. Look, the kickers are looking more important as the 49ers. I mean,
as the Ravens.
Greg Zuerlein kicked 5 last week for the Jets. He kicked 4 yesterday.
Yeah,
on the end of the 49er game, they didn't get screwed by the rest because I think that 2 call wasn't true. I got to answer. I didn't see the 49ers.
Yeah, I didn't see the plays.
I didn't see the calls. I saw the field goal attempt. We were watching Fox Sports app, and the Jet game started, and they were going back and forth. I didn't see the calls in question. I can't speak to it.
Yeah, I watched. Only game I watched. Well, I watched a part of the Raiders game. I watched the Lions game.
You were watching the Raiders game? Why the hell would you do that?
I don't know. I watched the Ravens game. I think I watched one more.
Because you do know that Raiders game was like Raiders Patriots, right? There was nothing valuable of any football intellect played in that game.
I know. I'm a glutton for punishment.
Hold up. It's always worth watching Bill Belichick lose a game.
Okay, now that part is true.
Always.
Okay, now that part.
I mean, because I haven't really seen. I won't tell you why
I don't want to
watched
scold
that game.
you, Lamar. You're an adult. I don't want to publicly scold you, but bite your tongue. It's always worth watching Bill Belichick lose a game on that.
Hey, well, now that you put it that way, I was like, oh damn, I should really take that back, because my thing is like, man, I actually enjoy it. But the only problem for me,
the look on his face be priceless, bro.
Oh, the looks on his face are priceless, but for me, it was kind of like
almost like William Regal.
You'd be like, what the fuck?
You
looking like, what the fuck is Mac Jones doing?
No, because it sucks because
how are you still playing him?
Obviously, I can't. I don't like rooting for the Raiders, but it's like in that instance, in that point, you're like, man, yeah. We got it. I got to rock with the Raiders. Who you think of him as a QB? No, QB.
I love when Anthony comes in the show, because it's almost like a kid who didn't take his Ritalin. Like, there's just questions that are all over the place right in a row.
No, but I mean,
because he goes through like every checklist he had on Sunday, and just like, I love it. You never know what he's going to ask next.
Well, I did get up for the London game, and I'll say this.
I watched that.
Yeah, me too.
I'll say
I was already up.
Lamar was actually playing well, and I think looking at some of the play calling, I know some of it started to get a little squirrely too at some points in the game. For the most part, they just let him be him. Let him kind of just play free. And I think
I'll say this: there's a lot of missed opportunities.
Oh yeah,
all of on Lamar. Some of them was some drop passes. Some was a poorly ran routes. I saw.
Yo, Bateman is trash, bro. I don't care what nobody say. Rashad Bateman is trash, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one was dropped in the end zone.
Even his mom would have to agree.
I think Lamar played a pretty decent game that Sunday.
Well, man, at some point, he was like 13 or 14 or something like that.
I mean, he was moving the ball. Then they get like in the red zone. Somebody drop a pass. It ought to be something. It won't be on him. Let me say that. And I don't think this game was on him. As far as why they should have scored more points than what they had.
And then
we have a lot of points out there.
They leave a lot out there.
Yeah.
They leave a lot.
And just like clockwork, we have a Tannehill injury. Like,
what's up, MJ?
Oh my goodness, what's happening, MJ? Shout out to the homie MJ. Buddy. Always a pleasure to hear from you.
Right.
But no, man, I was just that was actually not too bad of a game. Titans, man, you got to become sellers at some point, or
Tannehill's garbage, man.
They've been selling off their offensive line the last couple of years, just letting guys walk.
Yeah, but that Tannehill guy.
How many more quarterbacks you gonna draft to realize you ain't got shit?
Well, you got to go somewhere. You didn't draft it, Will Levis, and the year before that, Malik Willis. You got to go somewhere. You can't keep throwing Tannehill out there. It's almost disrespectful, like keep throwing Mac Jones out there. You know what you're getting.
Man, Mac Jones, man. He throws the same pick every time he roll out.
Roll out.
I'm like, bro,
roll out.
The same pick every time. Me and my homies. The same pick, bro. It's like you watching the same game. Oh no, it's a different game. He roll out, throw the ball right to the opposite team.
It's crazy
about it. Remember, I forget who it was. It wasn't one of our regulars. And when I said that Mac Jones is dog shit and he's not an NFL quarterback, the guy had like 8 comments in a row in the chat and was like so pissed off about it. I'm like, just wait and see. I'm like, this is my take on it. I love it. I hope he's fucking our quarterback for 15 years. Oh no.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. We weren't discussing Mac Jones when the day he was on.
Oh, okay.
I love it. He's absolute dog shit. He is dog shit dressed, and I can't believe all the human bags of feces who bought a number 10 jersey. I love it.
Wait, there's people that actually bought that jerseys?
But did you see the press conference?
Oh my goodness. What the hell were they thinking?
Man, his press conference is even worse.
No, I don't. First of all, there's nothing appealing that I even want to watch him play.
Sometimes I watch stuff just for content. Sometimes I watch stuff just for content.
Mac Jones get interviewed? I'll summarize Mac Jones' press conference with this right here. Pissed off white privilege. That's how he talks. That's how he talks. Everyone else is the problem. I'm perfect. Being pulled. Yeah, like you grab soft dick, you twist Brian Burns' ankle last year. You're a Duke basketball player. You're Grayson Allen. You're Christian Laettner. You're a spoiled, rich white boy punk.
Oh, there it is.
It is.
There it is.
Hey, I don't know. I'm gonna have to throw Josh Allen in there because when they was getting in that scuffle, he wants to throw himself in there and then run. And then have his people throw.
He threw himself in there like Mac Jones throws passes. It was a big miss. He totally missed.
I gotta look that one up. I missed it.
No, you got to see it because they started the Giants D lineman and the offensive lineman for Bill starting to get into a scuffle, and then all of a sudden Josh Allen just comes out of nowhere and throws himself into a Giants defensive lineman, try to have his partner's back. But my thing is like, bro, you're the quarterback. You're the last person that's supposed to be in the fight, and then two, just because you big, don't mean you can actually match up in this fight with a D lineman like Dexter Lawrence. Like, sit down. I thought you was a weird punk for that, Josh Allen. Despite how good I think you are.
He went after it was Leonard Williams.
Yeah, and Leonard Williams would tear his head off. Like, chill out, bro. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Well, since we're there, talking about Bills and
wait,
Giants.
I got it. Hold up.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Let me get back and share this. I got it queued up. Bang. Watch the old man do it.
Watch the old man do it.
Won't he do it?
Myself through it.
Won't he do it?
I'm getting there. Man. I'm getting there.
Jeez, how long this is taking, man? Mac Jones
should be able to see this. Right? I know. You see this?
Yeah, we see it.
Yeah, we see it. Go ahead.
Here comes Josh Allen right there. Come on, sucker. That's some shit, bro. I'm trying. He said, "Oh,
you just push him out the way." He's like, "Get out of the way, man."
Yeah, this actual angle, he made contact. The other angle, he didn't look like he made contact with anyone. I was like, "Oh, he actually did." It looked like he whiffed. Like,
but either way, I thought that was some sucker shit. Like, don't come out and try to, come in and knock people off the pile. Anyway, since we're talking about Bills and Giants, man, I did not.
Mar tried 12 minutes ago to get into the Jet game, and Mar had no interest in talking about the Jet game. He went to the Raiders. He went to everybody. He was like, "Oh, let's talk about the Eagles." And that was all he said.
Why don't you relax?
We talked about MLB.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's just for me. I didn't expect the Giants to be in that game, but I didn't think about the Brian Daboll factor in that game, where he probably knows that offense pretty damn well and can help Wink Martindale, who's obviously already a good defensive coordinator, and help him come up with a game plan how to play defense against a Josh Allen in that offense. So I did not put that factor into account, and then I wish I would have before I made any of my bet slips on DraftKings, because I definitely didn't cover at all. But I definitely would have had the Giants covering that spread, just because I did not take into account how good of a coach Brian Daboll is and how much he can help Wink Martindale, who's already a good D coordinator. So I was pleasantly surprised on that close game that we got, because I'm like, Here we go again, putting the Giants on damn national TV for us to fall asleep at halftime again. And next, I got to finish the game. So I was actually pleasantly surprised. What's your take on that Sunday night football game, Mel?
I ain't do that shit, man. I ain't want to see the Giants play. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I was watching on Hulu. I was like, I'll catch the highlights. I ain't want to watch the Giants play. I really didn't think it was gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be a close game. I was like, and I was tired that day. I worked. I was like, I ain't about to see and watch this shit. I just went to the bathroom, masturbated.
Oh Jesus! All right.
Sir.
Man, I gotta follow that up.
It's on you, Nick.
Hey, there's some. Hey, I look. I know we boys. I know we family. But damn it, there's still a discretion of privacy that needs to be.
It's like the first time you met me or something.
No, sir.
Now we got to get into it. That's the part that's fucked up. Like now we got to get into it. Like I didn't think you was a stand-up bathroom guy. Now I look at you in a whole different light now.
Sir, who said I was standing up?
No, there's still a level of discretion that needs to be exercised amongst the three of us, and that was at that point in time that you should have exercised it right there.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, no, that's too late. My bad, motherfucker. Like,
I take it back. I mean, what do we do?
There's no take back.
Take it back now. They already washed it down the drain.
Right.
It's still clogged in the drain.
No, sir. No, sir. Anyway, Nick, jump in here, man. I can't.
Speaking of jump in, go ahead, Nick.
I just picture a bunch of little males going down the toilet. Go no.
Who said black sperm can't swim?
Oh gosh, I can't.
I don't even know if I should laugh or not.
Oh, you wanted to?
Sometimes you guys make black jokes, and I'm like, if I laugh, am I going too far? How hard am I allowed to laugh at this black joke?
Hey, I saw Nick's face. He wanted to laugh.
I just do the emojis with the eyes. I'm like, everyone's watching me. AP, everyone. Like, how is Nick going to react to this black joke?
No, I mean,
I was laughing my ass off.
All right, so all right, we'll get to something that I think we all could talk about, especially you, Nick. So we'll use the last few minutes of the show on this one. We'll give a quick preview for tonight's game. But no, so. Hey, go ahead and give us, give us your spiel. Because I don't think, is it fair to say that not even Jets fans thought that they were going to win that game yesterday?
I thought we could win. I mean, I thought certain things were going to have to happen. I did have less confidence on Saturday morning when Sauce Gardner got ruled out with concussion. He went from vomiting on Friday, and I guess they did some further tests and then ruled them out Saturday with a concussion.
Yeah.
So, losing 3 of your top 4 cornerbacks, any team, but especially when they're as elite as Reed and Gardner are.
Yeah.
Kudos to the coaching staff. It's surprising in a good way how well coached this scheme is, that you saw it firsthand when we played the Chiefs. We take your best punch, and then we knock you out. The Chiefs went up 17-0. They scored 6 points the last 3 quarters. Eagles were up 14-3. They got nothing after that. We're getting turnovers. We took the ball away 4 times from Josh Allen, 2 times from Mahomes. Should have been 3 from Mahomes. And then, 4 turnovers yesterday. 3 picks and then the fumble. So we're getting turnovers, which helps a bad offense, which helps a quarterback who isn't even average, giving them short fields. And even if you're kicking field goals, man, and you're getting interceptions that you return to the 8-yard line, Man, it's impressive what this defense is doing. You know, it really is. I can't describe it any other way. The offense has been spotty. The offense is going through injuries. We lost another lineman yesterday, Tittman, who was drafted to be a center in the second round, came in as a guard, and through the 3 games that he started, he was the 6th highest rated guard in the NFL through 3 games, the 3 weeks that he played, and he never played guard before. He's been a center his whole life. So and then you lose him to might be a quad injury in the thigh. They said there's no broken bone, but whenever they say it's the thigh, right, it's usually the quad. So we got the bye week. I can't help but think how good we would be with Aaron Rodgers. We're 3-3. We've beaten the Bills. We played with the Chiefs. You know, the Cowboy game, you could say they don't pass rush us as heavy with Rodgers because they're afraid of Rodgers. But, I mean, you got to look at it now. If we competed with the Chiefs with Zach Wilson, we beat them with Rodgers, right? That's a pretty big upgrade. That game was close enough where quality play from Rodgers probably makes a difference, and we get a touchdown in one drive. You look at the Patriot game where they didn't let Zach do anything, and he was just throwing the ball away and out of bounds on 3rd downs. They handcuffed him. We win that game with Rodgers. So to be 3-3 going into the bye, where now whenever you get a quarterback change, it's tough to do it on a week, right? Because Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, you're building the game plan. Wednesday, you implement it. You know, the bye week is where you make your massive amount of changes. So now you're going to see them cater the scheme to what Zach has done well so far and maybe eliminate some of the things he doesn't. He's been getting the ball out of his hands quick for the most part. I think he was 8 of 8 yesterday with the release time under 2.5 seconds. Garrett Wilson banged up his ankle. Having a bye week helps him. Definitely, Matt, fuck Philly. Always fuck Philly. But now we come out of the bye, and as much as I agreed with you and loved you, Matt, you're going to turn on me here and say, fuck the Jets. I already see it coming. Come out of the bye week, and we got the Giants. That's a game we should win.
Yeah.
You know, I can't see their offense being very productive against us with what we've done to other teams.
And
AP, their defense played yesterday. This might be a 10-6 game like it was in like 94 and 95 when I was in high school.
Hey, AP, there's nothing wrong if that defense carries that team. Is Zach Wilson just doesn't need to make the mistakes. That's it. If you don't make the mistakes and have Hackett put him in great positions, you really don't know what could happen with this team. You really just don't know. It could reel off.
Defense travels, man.
Hey.
We said it many times. Defense travels. And when you're doing this to Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, and Patrick Mahomes, 3 MVP candidates, 3 guys who beat up a lot of teams in this league, why can't you get in the tournament and have the hot defense and the hot defensive coordinator and the guys who make plays? It's not just shutting them down anymore. We're taking the ball away, which is something the Jets have not done in many years since Rex.
Yeah. But let's flip the coin on the Philly side, man. Mel, man, talk to us about the Philly side of this game.
You know, so when I saw the game, even when Nick was talking, here's the thing that came to my mind, and this is not taking away from the Jets, but is the Jets that good? Is Philly that's shitty as far as offense?
I think you gotta have
I think if you look at all the Philly games they play, the offense really hasn't been clicking.
Yeah. Outside
maybe the Tampa Bay game, outside of that, the offense really, I mean, even that game, they really didn't look that great. They were just like, it's like something's not there. And I watched because I watched the highlights on this one, but even you see that run, the Jets stopped Jalen Hurts on a 4th and goal. He didn't look like he was like actually like running at full speed. You know what I mean? He just looked like he was kind of just like going through the motions. And like I said, I ain't crapping on the Jets and nothing like that. You know, it was a great win, great defense. I don't know. I said the Jets had good defense, so it's not me taking away nothing from the Jets. But from the Philly side, I'm looking at like, damn, what's going on with Philly? It's not the Philly we used to seeing from last year.
Hey, there was some bad interceptions.
Close.
There were some bad interceptions by Jalen Hurts. They were like, bad.
What is going on with Philly, man?
Hey,
they're great. I think they're amazing, and it was all the Jets.
Well, I expect for you to say that.
Well, I mean, look. I just got to. I mean, you can have a combination of two things can be right at the same time in one circumstance, and I think that is the case.
Right,
is because that's how good the Jets defense is, and even with them missing players, then that kind of helps you understand almost how the scheme matters most, as in Robert Salah is almost pretty much being a defensive Kyle Shanahan, where that scheme is that damn good with those athletes that the Jets got. It works. But we also got to give, I'll give Joe Douglas always his props. He built a very deep depth chart on the defensive side of the football. So that does help for his general manager skills in that aspect. But
yeah, you're right.
I'm looking at Philly in this situation where Jalen Hurts in this offense is the Achilles heel right now.
And remember years ago, before Philly started to click, it was that discussion about Jalen Hurts. Is he really that quarterback Philly needs? So he's trying to get rid of him.
They already paid him. It's too late now.
I'm just saying. Remember prior to that, we was talking about that.
Yeah.
Now it seems like he's going back to that Jalen Hurts. Right? It's like he's going back to that Jalen Hurts.
Paying the quarterbacks that are questionable.
It's like he's going back to that Jalen Hurts and not the Jalen Hurts that was there last year.
Obviously they're missing Miles Sanders.
No, but is I don't think they're missing Miles Sanders. I think what they're doing
Swift is a good.
Oh, that was tongue in cheek, dude. That was complete. That was complete.
Yeah, I know. Well, I think Swift is a good addition to what they have.
Well, they're not running the ball. They're not running the ball. All right. Yeah, let's be honest about Philly right now. They're not getting back to what they've done, running the ball, and they're trying to justify paying Jalen Hurts. That's what they're doing right now, and they're not being themselves because that offensive coordinator is the same offensive coordinator who was just a quarterback coach last year in Philly. It's the same people. It's the same personnel. They're trying to justify paying him and that type of money because he did at one point in time he reset the quarterback market. So they're trying to make him, hey, well, this is the reason why we reset it, and they're trying to make, hey, well, he was second in MVP voting. He's definitely bound to do it again. And it's like, no, you can't force it. You got to let Jalen play Jalen.
Go ahead. What you're saying with the coordinator. A lot of guys, when you're working, or it's human nature, right? If you get promoted to the job that someone had before you, you want to put your imprint on it. You want to show how you're different.
Right.
Sometimes staying the course and leading the league in rushing is the key to success. With Jalen Hurts passing the ball, less is more. And when you look at, I put Dak and Hurts in the same category. There's certain games where they look like they're on top of the world. I even put Josh Allen there. There's certain games where they look like they are the premier passer in the league, whether it's matchup, play call, individual matchups on the outside. A.J. Brown was the first Eagle to have 4 straight games of 125 receiving yards.
Yeah, he's been eating.
But there's something missing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Whether it's a third wide receiver, whether it's Goddard is not healthy. He looked dinged up yesterday. Run the ball.
They're like a cohesive unit, man.
I'm shocked they didn't run the ball more. Like, you're going shotgun, and I'm like, all right, they're going to run this. And it's just straight passing without even a play action. I'm like, you're playing into our strength. We're going to eat. And we did.
And the crazy thing is, Lane Johnson, the right tackle, went out through I think at some point in time in that game, and so you're
it's not a high ankle sprain, but it's an ankle, but it's not a high. No, Trent Williams was not the high ankle. I think Johnson is the high ankle.
Trent left and ended up coming back and played through it, which I don't know if that necessarily was a good or bad thing because he might have done more work to it or more damage to it. But needless here there, just Philly, you weren't. It wasn't like it was a game that you had to get pass happy. That's the thing.
Right.
And the score was so low enough that you could still incorporate it out. Yeah, grind it out. And I mean, it's just a weird way to go out. But let's get into this Monday night game.
I just
real
add
quick.
one thing.
Go ahead.
One thing. I know neither of you like seeing me happy, so I know to be brief with this. If you would have told me after 4 plays Aaron Rodgers would be out for an extended amount of time, that we'd be 3-3 at the bye when we had 4 12-win teams from last year on our schedule, even I, the most optimistic of Jets fans that there are, and you guys know I'm always put a positive spin on anything, I would even been kind of shocked to be 3-3 with the Bills, the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Chiefs, to be 3-3. I've been like, oh, you're out of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But kudos to coaching. I know we're not dominating, but keeping this team together and not letting them fall apart and not letting them quit. I mean, Coach Salah's got to be talked about as a Coach of the Year candidate, up to date, right?
Yeah. The Lions look good too. Just want to put that in there. Just want to say that. I don't give me any chances to say that, so I thought I'll say that.
You want me to read that?
Go ahead.
No,
no.
Hey, go ahead.
So we got Cowboys, Chargers tonight. I'm gonna be quite honest, man. This is a coin flip. I went back.
Okay, y'all niggas money.
I literally went back and forth so many times on who to go with. But I eventually stuck with. I eventually stuck with Cowboys only on this factor is because you don't want to lose to your former OC because you don't want it to make it look like you got out coach McCarthy by Kellen Moore. You definitely don't want that. You don't want to add that to more fuel on the fire that goes on.
That's why I went for the Chargers though.
No, but here's the thing. Cowboys, you can't get smacked like they did last week and not show up and continue.
Yes, they can.
This is the Cowboys.
Yes, they can.
This is the Cowboys. If the Cowboy can do anything, they can find another way, any kind of way to disappoint. Well, let them disappoint their fan base, but make us happy.
Hey man, like I told Flo earlier, hey man, you better make sure that bag is big enough for the referees tonight because this would be
the perfect opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Get blown out and then come back and get your ass stuffed again by the Chargers with your former OC leading the charge. I'm loving it.
Hey, Anthony, I'm with you, man. I'm ballsy. I'll do it.
Hey, and here's the thing, because we already know that the Cowboys are going to have more fans in the building anyway, so it's going to be a home game. I'm just saying, like,
but so was San Francisco last week too, and it's just a matter of which crying Cowboy fan they're going to put the camera on tonight.
Like, come on, like, I don't know. Just the Chargers are kind of one of those teams where I think they fraudulent every year. But we're there. So
I think these two teams are carbon copies of one another, right?
Well,
like you don't know what team's going to show up. You don't know which coach is going to show up. Mm-hmm. You don't know which quarterback is going to show up. You know both of their defenses can play really well or give up massive yardage and scores lightning quick. So it's really a bad game to bet. The only bet I made was overs. I just think that the offenses will feast. And I bet some individual overs for tonight. That was it.
Yeah.
But I just don't think you can put down a stamp and say the game is going to go this way. This team's going to win. Hopefully it's entertaining, and hopefully in the end the Chargers win, and America can be happy.
Yeah, but hey, man, I'm going Cowboys. We'll see what happens. And it's rare that I say that out loud, but it is what it is.
I'm going Chargers.
Chargers, yeah. Mm-hmm. It was hard because I kept going back and forth.
I was going back and forth too, but I just gotta go Chargers. It just makes me feel better.
Well, the script says that the Cowboys should win, so that's why I'm rolling.
Hey, the writers been on strike. They might have fucked the script up.
Nah, they got their own writers, dog. The NFL got their own writers, bro. They can afford their own writers.
The NFL writers are not union. They don't apply to
they don't apply to none of that. Dog. Oh man, but man, hey, great show, fellas. Great show, man.
The Lions won.
Yes, sir. We know your Lions are your Lions.
Well, man. They're playing really well, bro.
Well, no, they're legit. I mean, no shocker. I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it when we do our power rankings on Thursday. Lions will probably be at number 1 for me. just because I'll explain it on Power Rankings on Thursday. But to me, right now, number one team in the league. Yeah. When you see what Craig Reynolds did,
oh yeah,
as a wide receiver, when you see
blocking?
stuff like that,
when that blocking,
when you see stuff like that,
the one thing I can say,
you got the locker room.
Is that the one thing I like about this team is that these receivers will block all of them. I love that, man. I just love to see that. I like watching this team play.
Bro, that is culture. That is not something that happened. That is something that just doesn't earned or just automatically just take place. That is built. That comes from a guy that people believe in. When you see stuff like that, that says that, oh, we are bought in to Dan Campbell. And they play hard, they play tough, they play physical. And that's just about all that you can do when you see teams like San Francisco, when you see teams like Philly, is you got to punch them in the mouth. And Detroit is showing that they can do it because they've been punching everybody in the mouth that they played this year. Even in a loss, they've been punching people in the mouth. Yeah. So when Dan Campbell was saying, "No, we're gonna bite kneecaps," no, what he really meant to say is, we're Detroit. You got a lot of great boxing history here. We're gonna punch you in the damn mouth. That's what he really meant to say, because that's just what it is. And AP, don't let that Ben Simmons hype fool you in preseason, man. Talk to me in December.
All right.
Why? You won't be playing. Why? You won't be playing in December.
That's my point. So,
motherfucker took 17 steps on a fast break dunk.
Yeah. It looks good. It looks good right now, and that Ben Simmons talk looks good right now. But holler at me when the joint lands past Thanksgiving and Christmas time. So holler at me. But hey, man, great show today, man. You know what it is. When it's I.O.W Sports Network, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe. I.O.W Sports 1 on the Twitter. You can chop it up with us individually on the Twitter. Proud New York Jets fans. Detroit Mail. Casey Wildcard Mar. And please, hey, give us a like, share, subscribe on all our separate contents. It's definitely been in the full swing of football season. Wildcard Chief for the Chiefs fans, Proud New York Jets fans that Nick runs for the Jets fans, and then of course No Name Podcast for you Detroit Lions fans who are absolutely ecstatic that your team is a dominant team right now. So hey, that's just what it is, man. Keep showing the support. We're gonna keep cranking out this great content. Support's free. And until then, man, big homie Nick Shine, Detroit Mail, Wildcard Mark. We out of here. See y'all Thursday.